Hi, you may have heard that the Speaker of the House decided to invite Benjamin Netanyahu to speak in front of a joint session. This is similar to what was done during the Obama years when Netanyahu was brought by the Speaker of the House at the time, which was bad enough. But right now, Netanyahu is personally involved, personally in charge of a sadistic massacre of epic proportions where tens of thousands of people are being murdered in the Gaza Strip. God knows how many are subjected, how many tens, hundreds of thousands are subjected to famine, to starvation, and all of this while a 5-minute, 10-minute drive from any point within the Gaza Strip, Palestinians could get any food that they want, medical supplies, medical treatment, because they would be on the other side of the Gaza prison, outside of the Gaza prison. And of course, Israel doesn't want to allow it. The Israeli settlements throughout, all the entire country, but certainly within a 10-minute drive from any point in Gaza, they could solve the problem. So they're building a pier, they're doing this, they're doing that. They've got all these crazy ideas. And the Speaker of the House wants to bring this genocidal maniac to the United States to give legitimacy to the genocide. So, according to the Israeli press, it's not likely that this will take place. We'll see what happens. This requires a lot of planning, a lot of, negotiating and so on. But if this takes place, Washington, D.C. needs to be put under absolute siege. We need to protest in a way that has never been seen before to bring this genocidal murderer as the genocide is taking place. As it is taking place, let him land here, probably at Andrews Air Force, and then being taken to wherever he stays, Blair House, and then speak in Congress. If we, again, this is still hypothetical, we don't know if he's coming, but this city needs to be blocked completely, and he should not be allowed not to land, and certainly not to make it to Congress to do this. But the fact that the Speaker of the House feels comfortable in inviting him as this genocide is taking place, how racist, how horrifying. Would he have invited Hitler while the Holocaust was taking place? I hate to make these comparisons, but in this particular case, the comparison, the similarities are so striking. Can you imagine inviting Hitler during World War II to speak in front of a joint session of the House? And again, when it comes to Palestine, the standards are completely messed up. And it goes back to something that I've been talking about quite a lot, which is the response to the genocide being a ceasefire, a demand for ceasefire. Not only a demand for ceasefire, but waiting for the perpetrators of the genocide to agree to the terms of a ceasefire. Not even imposing the ceasefire, not even imposing the terms on the genocidal regime, which is Israel, but waiting for them to agree to the terms as they continue to murder, as Palestinians are dying of famine and dying of horrible diseases. Millions of Palestinians being subjected to this horror. This is unbelievable. Ceasefire? What are we thinking? What are people thinking when they say ceasefire? Ceasefire is not a response to a genocide. Ending the killing has to be imposed immediately. So on the one hand, people are demanding a ceasefire. On the other hand, the prime minister who is in charge of this genocide is being invited here. Benny Gantz, who is a minister in the Netanyahu government and a genocidal maniac in his own right, was just in Washington, D.C. I didn't see the roads, the highways, and the streets leading to the White House blocked or anything. We should act. We can't let this go on. They're massacring people, children, women, men. We need to get our act together. This cannot go on any longer. And it's up to us to act, and it's up to us to organize. So if it does happen, the city needs to be completely paralyzed. And if it doesn't happen, the Speaker of the House needs to hear from us just for suggesting and remind him what would have happened had a Speaker of the House during World War II suggested to invite Hitler, as the genocide of the Jews and others was going on in Europe, to come and speak in front of a joint session. This is unacceptable on every level. It must be brought to an end. American politicians should know that supporting genocide, supporting racism, supporting Zionism will not be tolerated, period. An end to the suffering of Palestinians must begin now.